Randy Gradish. Is it Gradishar or Shear? Share or Shar? Gradishar or Gradishar? Shar? Is it Shar? Am I saying it right? Like Shar? All right, bet. Randy Gradishar, the heart and soul of the Orange Crush defense.
Football or just playing football is a competition that it brings about within myself and within another ball player. You know, I enjoy going best against the best. That's going to bring out the best in you. And as a competitor and as a guy with a lot of self-drive and enjoying doing a good job, I really enjoy playing against the best people in the NFL.
The benchmark for Broncos linebackers is dominance. From Tom Jackson to Carl Mecklenburg, Simon Fletcher, DeMarcus Ware, and Von Miller. Denver's linebackers have built a legacy of stopping the run, preventing the pass, and rushing quarterbacks with elite skill and unbridled intensity. But even among the Broncos' long list of all-pro linebackers, there is one man who stands out, Randy Gradishar.
He was always in the right place. He always knew where the ball was going. He was never fooled.
So you're telling me our linebacker game been tough? That's crazy to put in perspective. Like, I grew up watching DeMarcus Ware and like Von Miller and shit, but to know that there was linebackers before, insane, bro.
Fantastic tackle.
Insane.
Once he latched on to you, he was gonna get you down.
He was such a great player on a great defense.
He had a great nose for the ball. He really did.
Randy always seemed to make big plays.
In 10 seasons with the Broncos, Gradishar defined what it meant to patrol the middle of the field.
Exactly what we needed as a leader.
Randy was heart and soul of our defense.
Gradishar, as we know, is one of the most opportunistic, intelligent, effective linebackers in the game.
Here's the defense. You can see Gradishar going to work. Tackled by Randy Gradishar, who averages about 14 tackles a game. Just outstanding.
Oh yeah, this gonna be a movie. Hold on, let me get my snacks first. Let me get my snacks first. This gonna be a movie. Y'all niggas get y'all snacks. This shit about to be tough, bro. This shit about to be tough.
Before he was the anchor of the legendary Orange Crush defense, Gradishar was a basketball player and a grocery clerk in Champion, Ohio.
My dad started a grocery store back in 1945, right after World War II. I started working at the grocery store when I was 11 years old.
You know, Randy would stock the shelves and so forth and so on.
We didn't even have football until I was in 9th grade. I thought I was better in basketball.
He didn't know how good he was. He was just playing football, and he'd make it all the tackles, whatever.
And I didn't know that my high school football coach sent out films on me.
He was...
You want to know how a nigga's elite? Like, how a nigga's like a real-life athlete? By their performance in not only one sport, but two. You know what I'm saying? They make you play more than one sport in high school. You feel me? If you're like an athlete, bro, I'm telling you, bro, them niggas turn out to be crazy. Like, nigga, look at Travis Hunter.
At his dad's grocery store stocking shelves.
Nigga played basketball.
He gets a phone call at the store, and they said, "Can you come to the high school? Woody Hayes is here and would like to meet with you."
I didn't know. I said, "Who's Woody Hayes?" We talked for an hour and a half, asking me all kinds of different questions, and his last question was, he said, "Well, what's your dad do?" I said, "Well, he owns a grocery store 2 miles down the road." He said, "Well, let's go see him." I said, "Okay."
It was Woody and Randy's dad. And by the time they spent about an hour together, Randy came in and his dad was like, "You're going to Ohio State and you're going to play for him."
Coach didn't even mention my name. He didn't say anything about me going to Ohio State, a scholarship, none of that. What they talked about was World War II.
A 3-year starter at Ohio State and a 2-time All-American, Gradishar led the Buckeyes to an undefeated record in his senior year, including a win in the Rose Bowl.
I mean, Woody Hayes said he was the best player.
Undefeated Rose Bowl win? Shit.
Coached. So go back and look at some of the players Woody Hayes coached.
Just having the opportunity to be part of that. Never look back on my decision to go into Ohio State for sure.
He came out of a program that was just second to none.
Going into my senior year, there were some scouts coming around, and eventually they said, Randy, you're pretty good. You could get drafted in the NFL.
Before the 1974 draft, a knee injury cast doubt on Gradishar's viability as a pro. But that didn't stop John Ralston from selecting him 14th overall.
He showed up in a big station wagon as a 22-year-old. We saw him and we were like, "What? He doesn't want the sports car. He doesn't want the cool car. He's driving his family in and he's got a station wagon." And we're like, "It's a different guy."
He was assigned the number 52, which he wore for 2 years before.
So he like a humble nigga. He's a humble nigga. That's fire, bro. That's fire. I played both baseball and football in high school. Senior year, I concentrated solely on football and was able to get a scholarship to Cornell and the University of Miami. But 9/11 happened. Wow. Damn, bro. Damn. That shit's great. What the fuck? What the fuck? That's crazy, bro. 9/11 was so, like, that shit was so tragic. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, I wasn't, like, it's not like I was born or anything when it happened, but, like, bro, just seeing that shit every year in school, you feel me? Bro, I take life so serious, bro. Like, I take life so serious, bro, because you never know. I forwent all of it to serve my country. Fuck, bro. Damn. Damn, bro.
For switching to number 53. Gradishar quickly picked up the defensive playbook and became a starter midway through his rookie season.
Randy just came in with the responsibility of taking over this veteran group. We all saw how hard he practiced, watched his leadership skills. You could feel it. We were like, okay, lead us.
We were always an hour early before everybody, came into practice. We were watching film. What do they do on third down? What do they do in short yardage? What do they do inside the 20? What do they do out in the field? That was all mental. Once you start understanding that, it just certainly became pretty easy at that point.
Randy played his way into the spotlight in 1975 with a game-sealing pick six with America watching on Monday Night Football.
After the game, Bart Starr, the Packers head coach, came into the Broncos locker room to congratulate Randy and the Broncos players on a great win. It was a chilling moment.
Throughout the 1970s, the Broncos rose to prominence in the National Football League.
Prior to 1967, they were woeful. And then when Lou Saban was hired, 67 to 71, he rebuilt much of the Broncos.
Saban's replacement, Coach John Ralston, enhanced an already talented roster with the addition of a powerful defensive unit.
The Broncos were just turning the corner. 1973 was the first winning season the team ever had. And then from that point on, the team did nothing but have winning seasons. And Randy was a big part of that. He was the core member of the Orange Crush defense.
John Ralston from...
So, okay, that confirms the defense always been elite, bro. Defense always been elite. Man, I love my team so much, bro. All the defensive legends on the Broncos, bro, is crazy, bro. Feel me? Marcus Ware, Von Miller, feel me? Queeb Talib, Chris Harris Jr., Derek Wolfe, feel me? Soon to be Talanoa Hufanga and Dre Greenlaw, Frank Gore used to be a running back for the 49ers, but then forewent the NFL to up and join the Airborne, and Sir Frank is a cool dude, by the way. I heard. I used to watch Frank Gore, read a little bit, like a little bit when I was younger and shit. I definitely seen him on the 49ers, and then I seen him on the Bills, and then when he went to the Bills, I was like, yeah, bro, yeah. But Frank Gore tough, bro. Frank Gore's tough.
From 72 to 76, he drafted that whole defense.
That's the idea. Great job.
We go out there and try to play an intimidating type of game where we can intimidate with our quickness and our personnel. We have a couple mean guys on our team, and they try and intimidate by their actions on the field, but basically our characteristic is to go out there and trying to force a turnover.
Bro, look at those helmets, bro. Yo.
Basically our characteristic is to go out there and try and...
Them shits look like plastic toys, bro. Yo, like, they had, like, no protection whatsoever.
Force a turnover, try to force the quarterback to throw quickly, try to create a fumble.
When defensive coordinator Joe Collier switched to a 3-4 in 1976, the Orange Crush defense was poised to dominate.
Anybody who's followed the Denver Broncos knows that that Orange Crush defense was pretty good.
You think about Lyle, you think about Reuben, you think about Barney.
No cushion in that shit. Old school helmets, man. This brings back memories.
Joe Rizzo.
Damn, Berserker, you played in helmets like these? Bro, how did it feel? Like, I want to know. I always wondered. Like, was there like cushion in it? Was like any type of like cushion on your head, or it was just straight heavy metal? Like, I don't know. Like, I want to know, bro.
So the Merchant Marine, Steve Foley, Louis Wright, Billy Thompson, Dennis, each one of them in their own way had these leadership skills that just came through.
There was cushion, but the thing was like 2.5 pounds on your head. Oh, so they just made them like bigger type shit. Excuse me. Like, they just made them bigger and like upgraded the material type shit. Okay. You feel me? Them just look uncomfortable, bro. Like, I don't understand it, bro. But that's what make y'all tougher, though. That's what made y'all class and y'all generation tougher in these scenarios.
Willing to accept each other. We were a great defense, and we knew it. We knew we were great.
I think our whole team looked to Randy as the linchpin of that defense. He came to the field with such a high intensity. You were expected to raise your level of play as well.
Everybody work hard now.
Just fearless, bro.
Hey, everybody work hard now. Let's go.
He had a desire to win that he didn't have to talk about. He just had it.
Coming up, Gradishar and the Broncos taste postseason success for the first time.
That's so crazy, bro. Yo, it's so crazy, bro. Like, man, linebackers always been nice. Like, you're telling me linebackers always been nice? It's crazy. It's so crazy. Yo, Dre Greenlaw, you have a lot of expectations to uphold. I'm not gonna lie. You have a lot of expectations, bro. Yo, if Dre Greenlaw could be like the nigga that get us over the hump, bro, in our defense, bro, oh my God. Our linebackers are field generals. Yeah, facts. Bro, what? Nick Bonito? That nigga is crazy. That nigga is crazy. Yo, I fuck with Nick Bonito. You feel me? Jonathan Cooper. Bro, it's like them niggas play like DBs, bro. Like that Jonathan Cooper, that Nick Bonito pick 6, yeah, bro. Niggas like these niggas play like DBs, you feel me? But I'm speaking like in terms of just like greatness at the linebacker position, you feel me? Like
in 1977, behind the leadership of new head coach Red Miller, Gradishar and the Broncos went 12-2. Beat the Raiders in the AFC Championship game to secure Denver's first appearance in the
bum-ass Raiders. Everything about y'all still trash. Still fucking trash. Y'all niggas still wasn't winning in this time. Y'all still wasn't winning.
Super Bowl.
You know, beating the Raiders at Old Mile High Stadium to go to the first Broncos Super Bowl 12. What a great memory, and certainly changed the history of the Denver Broncos.
We were in the 12th Super Bowl?
Believers now. Do they believe now?
Denver's quest for a world title came up short in Super Bowl 12, but a foundation of winning had been built.
We lost to the Cowboys.
No one will ever.
We lost to the Cowboys. Really? No, the Cowboys?
Foundation of winning had been built.
No one will ever know the kind of football we played that day.
So we was still underdogs. Damn, bro. Hey, all I know is that shit will never happen again. That shit won't ever happen again, bro. Feel me? Cowboys, y'all niggas got nothing on us no more. Absolutely nothing.
8 turnovers, and we gave up 27.
Yep, that's why we smashed them every time.
If we'd have had 4 turnovers, we'd have won by 10.
Gradishar returned the following season with a new fire, leading the team to its second consecutive AFC West title and winning the 1978 Defensive Player of the Year award.
I made that decision that I was just going to work hard on the field and off the field to be honored with that. I'm very proud of that.
Randy is still the only defensive player of the year to ever play for the Denver Broncos.
What we designed was a defense where Randy's such a great tackler that if we clear a way for him to get to the ball carrier, he's going to make the tackle.
Most of the time, my kind of tackling is just bring that ball carrier down no matter how you can do it. The real great hit, that only comes maybe half a dozen times within a ball player's career.
Over the course of 10...
Bro, oh, he gets it. He gets it. Now PS2, facts. Yup. I ain't forget about him. Bro. This nigga is crazy. Yeah, y'all ain't just hear this nigga's mentality?
Hit, that only comes maybe half a dozen times within a ball, no matter how you can do it. The real great hit.
He don't even care about hitting them, bro. He just cares about bringing them down. You feel me? Like,
that only comes maybe half a dozen times within a ball player's career.
He understands it.
Over the course of 10 seasons, Gradishar racked up a mind-boggling 2,049 tackles, 20 interceptions, and 13 fumble recoveries.
2,900 tackles. What's the average now? Like, what's the average nowadays? In like the average tackles. Let me look this up. Actually, I'm curious, bro. Hold on. In NFL season. See what pops up. Alright, hold on. Not by game, per season. Bro. Not per season. Never mind. It's not giving me what I'm trying to look for. It's not giving me what I'm trying to look for. All I know is that almost 3,000 tackles in a season is crazy. Insane. I don't even think they were playing 16 games at this time. Bro, this nigga was different. I'm not like, this nigga was different. 20 interceptions as well? Yeah. This nigga
Makes
is
me
crazy.
kind of mad when people who have the votes for Hall of Fame induction tell me that they don't believe the statistics on Randy Gradishar.
Tackles have never been official in the league. Tackles are an unofficial statistic. And Joe Collier kept the statistics, going over the film play after play after play, time after time after time.
Everybody watches the film the next day. So we would all then sit there and go, oh, Randy made 18 solos and he had 4 assists. The guy had 22 tackles during a football game.
So anybody who suggests that they're not correct is probably suggesting that Gradishar didn't make them. I lied and made them up. Or Joe Collier lied when he was doing them.
I would tell him, I go, man, you're playing by yourself. You don't even need us. We're running around and you're just making tackle after tackle.
It's an insulting thing, really, to suggest that a defensive coordinator is just pulling statistics out of the air.
So once in a while I get a big hit on short yardage, or if a back breaks through and I get a very good pop on him, that's satisfaction, because It's something that you were taught when you were in high school. You know, you talk about the form hit, get your head into the numbers, you know, keep your feet driving and bring them down. I've only had a
And he still plays by the fundamentals. Oh my God.
couple of those in my
He got
career.
good off the-
Without a doubt, if not the best, one of the.
He's an athlete, you feel me? But the thing is, it's some niggas that's just like good off pure athleticism, but he got good through the fundamentals, bro. The nigga just mentioned what he learned in high school.
Form hit, get your head into the numbers, you know, keep your feet driving and bring them down. I've only had a couple of those in
Straight fundamentals, bro. Yeah, bro. Yeah, I love my team. I love my team.
career.
Without a
my
doubt,
team.
if not the best, one of the top 2 or 3 in the NFL in short yardage and goal line. I've never seen a guy with that ability to find the ball and make plays.
If the guy tries to come over the top, Randy's gonna be there. He became known for it.
He was strong enough and big enough that he could take on blockers, shed blockers, and make plays. Yeah, you knew in short yardage it was going to be tough sledding against 53.
It would be a run and play, and he would just go by me like a blur and hit a guy jumping over the line, meet him right in his tracks, and I mean, he was...
Oh my God, he didn't let a single nigga dive into the end zone, bro.
It would be a run and play, and...
It don't matter.
You knew in short yardage it was going to be
He
tough.
was that linebacker who didn't give a fuck about a nigga trying to dive. He didn't care. No free yards. It was no free yards with this nigga.
Sledding against 53.
It would be a run and play, and he would just go by me like
Oh
a
my
blur
God.
and hit a guy jumping over the line, meet him right in his tracks, and I mean, he was such a short tackler.
The execution part of that was all because each guy did what he was supposed to be doing. And the defensive line were all down. They had their assignments. I lined up deep, and it gave me the opportunity to have...
Them beefy ass shoulder pads, bro. Them beefy ass shoulder pads. I'm trying to tell you, yo, you see his pads like up here, his shoulders like right here. Like right here, bro. Shit.
have a better read.
Gradishar was a dynamic threat with the ability to convert a turnover into a touchdown.
We played a game in Cleveland, a game that, you know, I think we should have won. We're about to score.
And we were in a short yardage defense. Tom Jackson forced Brian Sipe to come out of the pocket, and Brian threw the ball. I hit it with my hand. It bounced off Tom Jackson's chest back into my hand.
It bounced up to him, and he took off on the run. And I'm like, darn, I should have had that.
Randy took off running, so I took off running too.
He ran back 93 yards. Everybody stopped in the play. I believe it was 93 yards for a touchdown.
And at that point, that was certainly the longest for many years. That was the longest touchdown return a Denver Bronco had had. I told the guys even on that Monday morning film study, you know, nobody could catch me, but I was lumbering down for 93 yards.
I wouldn't say slow. He's quick, but...
Damn. So he was the first linebacker to have a 90-plus yard, or like the longest interception, like the interception return, or pick six. Holy shit! He was the first. He was the first one to have the longest pick six. Damn, bro. Damn, like I'm stunned right now. Like, yo, this is crazy. Like, this is so crazy. Knowing what I see in my generation, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy, bro. Like, wow, I didn't know our history was this deep whatsoever. You feel me? Like, yo, wow. Like, I'm at a loss for words. You feel me? Like, it's just greatness, just greatness, literally just greatness.
Not for 100 yards.
He was one of the NFL's most durable players. In a decade of donning the orange and blue, Gradishar played in 145 straight games, never missing a single one, and often playing hurt.
The work ethic of being able to not miss a game, being prepared for a game, started, I think, from my parents when I was a little kid.
He was just one of those guys who always played and was always great.
He was our
He's a
leader.
soldier, bro.
And he led
He's a
by
soldier.
example.
Up next, the legacy of
It's so crazy because a lot of niggas like, yo, you'll see a nigga be trying they ass off in practice, bro. Bro, niggas get called practice heroes. The thing is about them practice heroes is that, bro, soon, you know what I'm saying? Soon, they'll soon to be on that field and actually be able to do what they do in practice. You feel me? Like, bro, I like niggas who like go to practice and work their ass off. You feel me? I was that type of nigga, bro. You know what I'm saying? I was that type of nigga. Practice, bro. Like, I'm just, you feel me? I'm doing what I gotta do. You know what I'm saying? I'm showing up and I'm doing what I gotta do to the best of my extent. You feel me? I'm not gonna sit up here and act like I was the best nigga on the team or nothing like that. But, you feel me? When it came to practice, I did good, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I did what I did. And to hear, you know what I'm saying? Shit, feel me? It's what makes you great, bro. It's just it's to hear, like, bro, like, niggas on my favorite football team been doing this shit for years, bro. Just puts it all in perspective, man. Just one big ass message.
Played
Fire,
was
bro.
always great.
It's fire.
He was our leader, and he led by example.
Up next, the legacy of Randy Gradishar in Broncos country. Gradishar's no-nonsense style and Iron Man toughness made him a natural leader who left a lasting impression on his teammates and colleagues.
He and a couple others were big-time pranksters in training camps.
We had some ringleaders, some other ringleaders, but Randy was one of the primary ones.
He's the biggest prankster I ever run into in my life.
Training camps back then were a little different, and you were really tired and really sore, and it kind of was a good distraction, although sometimes you felt like the butt of the jokes.
He would unscrew the shower head so that when I would come in to take a shower, I would turn it on and water would spray all over the bathroom.
He was the guy who would spray an icy hot product into the undergarment of the players before they took the field.
You start.
This nigga was a dickhead. Yo, this nigga sound like a dickhead.
Feeling very slowly this heat, and it's getting hotter and hotter.
This nigga's a dickhead, bro. Hold on. All right, I'm back.
Hotter and hotter.
Well, the natural response would happen, and they'd all go right into the locker room.
I knew he had done it. And I told him, I said, you and I will be battling. If you ever do that again.
I certainly said, no, that wasn't me. I didn't do that.
He would get assigned a room right over the entrance to the dorm.
And would fill these garbage cans full of water. And
This nigga was a dickhead, bro. But he was that yo, oh my God. So he was the type of nigga that be like a dickhead, but at the same time, the coach is going the coach is still going to keep him close and not kick him off because he's just that good on the field. You know what I'm saying? He got it from Revenge of the Nerds where the dude puts icy hot in the jocks of the Alpha Betas football team. Bro. This nigga, bro. Wow. Wow, he was one of the dumb players, bro. Stuffing kids in lockers and shit. You feel me? Giving them swirlies, sticking their head in the toilet and shit. Sound like one of them niggas, bro. That's
Rookies
crazy.
would come walking out and walking right underneath.
So you'd always be looking up when you would come into the dorm after practice because you knew it was possible that Randy was going to dump water on you.
And I know
Oh
I
my
got hit one
God,
time.
nah, see, he was dumping. This nigga's a menace, bro. What the fuck? Yo, he was one of them teammates that was just hard as fuck to live with, bro. But at the same time, he was the heart and soul of the team, so you had to deal with it. Damn.
So I know what it sounded like. You just hear this, and it makes you look up, and you are drenched.
He enjoyed things at your expense. That's.
I was getting pranked quite often, so I got with one of my hunting friends who caught a hognose snake for me. It's non-poisonous, but they're very aggressive, and he's probably 3 feet long.
We had our bags with our clothes in it, some of our clothes in it. We would dump it out on the floor.
It was a little fish net where we had all of our jerseys and jocks and socks and stuff, and they'd wash them and they'd show up in your locker.
So anyway, I put the hognose in Randy's mesh bag and put it up in his locker.
Randy's taking out his fish net to dump his socks and stuff out, and he dumps a big old snake out, and everybody was dying laughing.
Of course, I hate snakes, and from a little kid, even through today.
Oh man, he jumped.
And then it started going around, and some of the other guys were yelling and screaming that it was out.
So then
They got that shit back in. They got back there. They was like, bro, nah, this nigga's doing too much. We gotta get back at this nigga. Bro.
Running around because I didn't want him to hurt the snake. Grabbed the snake real quick, held it up in his face, and I go, "The prank's over." Well, I can still see it. I mean, just plain as day. That was a good one.
Pretty special time for me.
Randy Gradishar's legacy is one of toughness, leadership, and tenacity. He led the team in tackles for 9 consecutive seasons. He was a 7-time Pro Bowler, 6-time All-Pro, and to this day is the only Bronco ever to win Defensive Player of the Year.
I'd like to be remembered for being a
Also, DPOY. Patrick Surtain II, bro. Shout out PS2, man. Shout out PS2. You are also a part of Broncos history. You know what I'm saying? Fire.
Is the only Bronco ever to win Defensive Player of the Year.
I'd like to be remembered for being a well-informed ball player, a ball player who gave that. I don't hear 110% today, but we used to say giving 110%.
Randy Gradishar never missed a practice, was always attentive in meetings, not only asked questions, but shared information.
He made a number of outstanding plays at crunch time. That's what the great players do.
I guess the greatest achievement for me would be, my football career. I believe I was blessed with an athletic ability. I certainly didn't know that, but the mentors that came along in my life showed me that.
I am totally befuddled at how he's not in the Hall of Fame. The 2 main linebackers in that decade that Randy played were Jack Lambert and Randy Gradishar. This isn't like
you see
wishing
that face
somebody
mask,
should be there. That guy's absolutely a Hall of Famer.
I would just say go back and do the research. And I understand it's a tough task.
Now.
I mean, I do.
The voters have a very difficult job. Every year, every time they meet, they're looking at a bunch of guys who are all Hall of Famers. They're all great players, and you could put them all in.
Go take a look at any game that Randy played and watch what he did, because he played the same every single time that he was out there.
He is, without a doubt,
sense of urgency,
a surefire Hall of Fame player. Look at some of his numbers.
Randy is one of 10 linebackers in the history of the league to have 20 interceptions in his career, 10 fumble recoveries. He had 13, and he had 7 Pro Bowls. So of those 10 people, 6 of them went in their first year of eligibility. 3 of them went in within 2 years, and Randy has waited 37 years.
I played with quite a few great guys, which is the reason that, quite frankly, we're a little bit upset that none of those guys have been recognized for the greatness with which they played.
Whether it's the time zone he played in that hurt him or the lack of recognition nationally for the Broncos.
I would say if Randy Gradishar played on the Pittsburgh Steelers or the New York Giants or somewhere on the East Coast, he'd have been a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Bronco.
So funny to hear this, bro. Hey, what's good? What's good, Zave? How you been? It's so crazy to hear this, bro. Bro, niggas never give us our flowers, bro. Niggas never. We're talking about 50 years back. These niggas still wasn't giving us our flowers. They still wasn't giving us our flowers. We were still underdogs. We were still underrated. Niggas still was not being taken serious, bro. That is so crazy to me. That's so crazy to me. Even 50 years back.
The lack of recognition nationally for the Broncos.
I would say if Randy Gradishar played on the Pittsburgh Steelers or the New York Giants or somewhere on the East Coast.
Yup, somewhere on the East Coast, or whoever was good at that time. If he was playing with a big market at that time, yeah, bro, he'd be the best. We'd be hearing about this nigga. It's a reason why I'm just now figuring out about Randy Gradishar, bro. Feel me? Which now I know is a Broncos legend, bro. So I'm glad I watched this video, man.
He'd have been a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Bronco players in the last probably decade have started to gain some traction in the Hall of Fame. Before that, it was like, I thought that when there's a real bias here. Hopefully, with guys like John going in, Floyd and TD and Steve and all those guys, it will open the eyes of some of these voters and they'll take a good, long, hard look at Randy.
My hope is that he gets in. For those who played against him and those who played with him, they all know the kind of player that he was and what he's deserving of.
The Hall of Fame is something that it would be a great honor. Maybe someday it's going to happen, but it's something that they just kind of wait each year to see if the name comes up. And if the committee decides on doing that, I'm just grateful and, again, feel blessed that I had the opportunity to play in the NFL and for the Denver Broncos.
As you should, man. As you should, bro. Just clap it up, bro. Randy Gradishar, bro. The linebacker that still needs to get in is Carl McKenlenberg. Okay. That was a good vid, man. This was made 2 years ago. Oh, so he just recently got into the Hall of Fame. That's what's up, bro. Hey, man. I love learning about my team, bro. Feel me? Nice to know we was still underdogs. We was still underrated back then. Shit is crazy. Shit is insane, man. That was a good-ass video, bro.